For 11 o'clock, and that music means it's time to speak about the law with Vanessa Lane Jennings from the Jennings Law Firm right here in Ocala. Vanessa is here not only to answer our questions, but actually more importantly to answer your questions. And Robin and I always have fun with Vanessa, and I often think it sets the tone for a fun show. But obviously, if you have a legal circumstance, it's probably not fun, and you're probably not in the mood to be joking. And so we ask that you call in if you don't mind, and we will learn something from the answer that Vanessa gives you. And don't let the fact that we're kind of yucking it up a bit stop you from asking a serious question. The phone number is 622-9622, and of course the Vanessa Law Firm. The Jennings Law Firm is at 2945 Northeast 3rd Street on the second floor. The phone number over there is 804-0092. But right now, the number to be on the air is 622-9622. Again, now that we're on the air, good morning again, Vanessa.
Good morning.
You're looking nice.
Thank you. I love when you lie to the people if they can't see.
I am not lying. Did you go? How'd you do well through the storm, or did you?
Not even a light flicker.
Nothing.
Not even.
Marion County really did well through that storm, didn't they?
Some did, but apparently there was some neighborhoods were out for like 36 hours with their power.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Really?
Some of my clients lost power.
We went to Daytona on Wednesday, and after our gig, we were at the school, and nothing seemed to be. Well, there was one tree down at the school.
Yes.
But the real obvious effects of that storm was on the coast. We went down to the beach and saw the hotels had things ripped off of them, and one diner had all the metallic fabric that they put over in diners. You know, in diners,
right? Yes.
It was all pulled off. So, do you ever have to deal with people on a legal, like when nature does? You know, in a contract it says an act of God.
Correct.
That's what that is, right? A hurricane is an act of God. What is it called?
Force majeure.
Force majeure.
Yeah.
And that literally means act of God?
Force of nature.
Oh, force of nature. Okay.
Which translates into act of God somehow, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I guess it depends if you're atheist or not. Either way, it's a storm.
Either way, it's a storm.
So
yes.
how do you handle a case when there is nobody to blame? I mean, it's an act of nature.
That's normally what insurance is for. I mean, it depends what the case is.
Oh, okay. So so your lawsuit might be against your insurance company if you don't think they're dealing with you the right way.
Right. I mean, I need a facts and circumstance here. So, like, if there's damage,
I'm doing very hypothetical.
Your hypothetical is so hypothetical.
It's too broad. Okay, I'm sorry.
We narrow that out. Like, let's say a tree fell on the roof. Then that's where your insurance company would come in and get it, because there's no one else to blame. You can't sue Mother Nature. Try.
Oh.
Oh, really? So I mean, I shouldn't say really as if I'm surprised, but because I just thought of something. That's what I said really about. So if my neighbor cuts down his tree with an axe,
okay,
and it falls down on my house,
okay, we've totally changed the total fact.
I know.
Yes.
But can I sue the neighbor, or does my insurance company take care of that?
Potentially, you can go through your insurance company, and your insurance company can sue your neighbor for you, so that way you don't have to sue them directly.
Right.
However, your neighbor is going to be gone after one way or another, normally. Presuming that they did something negligent. Presuming that, they didn't cut it down in the proper way. Because there's a special way to cut a tree down so it falls or is felled, if I think that's a proper
I know, I don't like that word either. It was in the news the other day that with the storm, how many trees were felled.
Yeah.
Felled. Like when they use persons instead of people, it always drives me nuts. There were 24 persons hurt in the storm.
Oh, see, I like persons over people.
Why? What's the plural of a person?
Persons.
But persons are individual, and the people is like a group. I would use the word persons. I like using the word persons. I do.
He is not too. I could see by his face.
I'm not too educated?
No. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that is not.
How many persons are in the mall?
A good attorney.
How many persons are in the mall right now? Did I say that right? Is that the right way to ask that question?
Yeah. You can see how many people are in the mall too.
That's what I would say. How many people are in the mall? How many people?
How many folks are in the mall?
How many folks? Yes. So did you see the story this morning about the judge?
I saw nothing.
The judge who got out from behind the desk and helped is it the bailiff who would, if somebody starts to get into a fight, he gets a bailiff?
The bailiff is the one who protects the judge, so yes.
Okay, so the judge gets out and actually is on the ground struggling with the defendant.
Really?
Yeah.
He's wrestling with him.
I missed this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is what I get for having 8 a.m. court. I don't like it.
You were in court at 8 a.m. this morning?
And 9 a.m.
And can you talk about that case?
Well,
No?
they weren't exciting. Sometimes we have cattle calls that you just go for statuses and they're not exciting.
Oh, okay.
So do you know
Nothing
what's
really
coming
happens.
up in a cattle call? Do you know what's coming up?
Yeah, normally it's just a status. Hey, what's going on in your case? And you
Oh.
tell the judge what's going on. So everyone kind of knows what's going on and everyone's on the same page. And then you set your next court date. So things can happen between court date 1 and court date 2.
Do you know what I find interesting
like setting
is
timelines.
the business of being a lawyer. I mean,
Yes.
you're your own boss, but not really. You have to answer to the courts and the judges.
I am not my own boss. That is a lie.
Jennings
Really?
Law Firm? What? It's named after you, isn't it?
It is. I am not my own boss. Everyone else tells me where to go, where to be there, how to be there, why.
Oh my
I just
gosh.
show up.
Wow.
Oh, you mean because the customer's always right, that kind of thing?
Well, it's not just the customer. It's the courts. It's the judges.
That's
it's
what I mean.
Everyone else.
That's what I mean.
dictates your
It's a
schedule.
weird business because
It is.
okay, if you were a dentist and it was the Jennings Dental Office, right?
Dentistry.
right? And then you'd be your own boss, but obviously your customers are your boss in a sense. But there's no.
Right, but that's also a business where you have defined business hours. Like they're defined.
And you don't have them because somebody else defines them for you.
Life happens to people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Really?
So they like to share.
So when you have a court case, you could sometimes schedule it after 5 at night with the judge?
Normally, when you're after 5, it's because the case ran over and the judge is normally not too happy.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so it all has to be done during the day?
It depends. There are some jurisdictions in Florida that have night court. Night court does exist, but this tend to be for either small claims actions or alternatively, mostly criminal cases. So they'll do some criminal dockets later in the evening. But those are few and far in between.
Have
Marion
you ever
County
done
doesn't-
those?
Yes, but
Night courts?
Marion County doesn't do it.
Do you like night courts?
I do because I'm a night owl, so,
Oh, okay.
Are you really?
yeah. I like to stay up to like
How
1,
can you
2
be a
o'clock in
night
the
owl in
morning.
Ocala? There's nothing going on.
I do other things.
Do you
I
really?
read.
Oh, I have a question to ask you, and this is probably going to challenge your sworn to secrecy something.
Right, okay, so why are we doing this?
Because I want to. Last year, Robin and I were completely in the dark about the WOCA float, and your
Yes, we
and
were.
your sister was on the float.
My sister was on the float.
Okay, so
Yes.
is this going to happen again this year? Are you sworn to secrecy?
I don't believe I'm sworn to secrecy. Dan, can you help me later? But there should be a combined float this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Between who? See,
The
we
Jen-
don't. We're in the dark. Who are we combining with?
The Jennings Law Firm.
Oh, really? So who's going to drive the car?
Not the Jennings
Are
Law
you going to
Firm.
be on the float waving?
I can't be. I'm on actually the Christmas Parade Committee. So.
Oh, you are?
Yes. So I can't actually be on the float.
So is
That's why we have Sally.
Princess Sally is going to be?
I don't know if she's going to be a princess. I don't know. That's to be determined. The theme this year is we're going to try maybe, I don't know, to work with. So it's an
What do you
interesting
mean to
theme.
work with it?
There's always a theme.
I know. What is it this
The
year?
Star Spangled Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Red, white, and
Yes.
blue, and green with snow.
Apparently, yes.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do, and
I don't know what we're doing. It'll be fun and no matter what we do, it'll be fun and exciting. I mean,
who was the girl that was the other princess or whatever the sister's name was?
she
Frozen.
is a friend of a friend.
Okay, they both looked
So
fabulous. They both
I,
did.
I forgot her name, and that's sad. But I only met her that one time. She's friends with someone Becky McQuaid from Hello Gorgeous knows.
Oh, okay. She's a nice lady, Becky
She
McQuaid.
is a nice lady. I concur.
Have you ever had to, were you ever requested to do a case, but then you had to excuse yourself because you were too close to the person?
No.
Oh, okay. So you can
You like that?
legally do that.
Yeah, no, I've
can-
taken cases for friends. I would never take a case against a friend. I mean, that's just bad.
Do you know
recipe for badness, but no.
Okay, I know John Lennon is before your time, but we spoke to his attorney yesterday.
You did. That's exciting.
Yeah, he wrote a book, and John Lennon's fight was with the immigration people because Richard Nixon wanted to kick him out. Anyway, there's something about that story I want to share with you.
Okay.
The prosecuting attorney, the guy who was actually John Lennon's enemy in this whole legal thing, was actually a John Lennon fan. And so I wondered if that helped him, because he eventually got the green card that kept him in the country.
Right.
So has that ever happened where the prosecuting attorney is actually kind of sympathetic to the person he's prosecuting?
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah? How do you separate the two? How do you separate what
You see it more in Miami, because you'll see some famous people come through the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office.
Oh, really?
As defendants.
Gloria Estefan, has she ever been in there?
I don't know if ever, but not while I was there. But I mean, you'll get like a Vanilla Ice, or you'll get local celebrities.
Oh, yeah, he got in trouble, didn't he? Yeah.
Right, you'll get local celebrities. And I mean, not that it's not supposed to sway you, but sometimes you're like, okay, well, you're special. I like your music. Be a little bit nicer to you.
That's kind of weird. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. We do invite your calls. I told you we were going to have fun with Vanessa, but don't let that stop you from calling in if you have a serious question about the law. Vanessa is here to answer those questions. The number is 622-9622. And, of course, if you're just not comfortable asking a serious question on the air, you are welcome. You're encouraged to call Vanessa over at the law firm, the Jennings Law Firm. The number is 804-0092. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. There could be coastal flooding at times of high tide today and tomorrow, along with a high rip current risk each day. Partial sunshine Friday with a shower in spots and a high of 83 to 87. Partly cloudy Friday night with a stray shower, lows 67, inland 74 on the coast. For Saturday, times of clouds and sun and becoming breezy with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, high 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
All right, 10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Vanessa Lane Jennings is here. The phone number, if you want to call Vanessa on the air, is 622-9622. So I looked up real quickly, Vanessa, the story I was telling you about. A Michigan judge threw off his robe, came down from the bench, and helped subdue an unruly defendant scuffling with an officer in his courtroom.
What county in Michigan was that in?
Jackson County. Jackson County Circuit Court Judge John McBain. Do you know him?
No, I don't know him, but I do know a judge in Jackson County, Michigan.
Oh,
really?
Judge Tavonen. He is my favorite. Oh, he's my favorite Michigan judge. I can say that.
In the same county, so they must know each other.
He was my criminal law professor because I went to law school in Michigan. So he's my criminal. He was my criminal law professor and my criminal procedure professor.
And we have a phone call coming in. Let's take that phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Hi. I was wondering if you're alone, that is, if you're widowed or widower, and you don't have any children, and you don't know really who to put, say, on your bank accounts or whatever, would you recommend an authorized signer or a transfer on death? What would you do if you haven't one person that you would really like to assign, to share your account with?
I would never put anyone as an authorized signer on any of my accounts. And this is personal, not legal at this point in time. On any of my accounts, because they can then go and write a check and go and do whatever they want to do. And you can't go back and say, no, they didn't have authority to do it later. So you make your ability to have any repercussion on them non-existent. If you don't have anyone children-wise or husband-wise that you want to leave it to, or have them signers now, is there somebody you would want to name in a will? Is there someone you would want to name in a different instrument that they don't get access to it until the time that you pass? That way, during your lifetime, you're good. But that won't protect you. Let's just say something happens and you go into the hospital. Do you want to establish a power of attorney? So only in those circumstances, and you can spell out those things, are they able to access your funds, and they can only access them for very specific things, and you can delineate exactly what they are and be very detailed. That way you know that someone's not going to go on a trip to Hawaii while you're in the hospital trying to fight for your life.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's a really good advice, because if you don't have anybody but you've got a really close friend and you want to make it easier for them when you pass on, that would be easier for them, but still you have to think of what you brought up.
Right. So, I mean, if you can leave it, if you know who you want to leave it to, or some people don't want to leave it to anyone in particular, they want to leave it to a charity. Because I know we were talking about different charities around town on break. Right. So if you want to leave it to, the Marian Cultural Alliance, or or we call it MCA, or the Literacy Council, or any of the other organizations in town, you can do that. But what happens, that's once you pass. Before you pass, if you're unable to write a check, or you're unable to pay you're not able to pay your bills or anything else like that, what do you do? And normally it's people choose a good friend, but you need to limit. Even if you trust that friend, sometimes money does weird things to people. Even family members, you don't expect them to act the way they do when they get a little bit of power. So you limit them, and you limit their power, and you limit the type of damage that they potentially could do. So.
What is the term power of attorney? What does that actually mean?
It means that they have the power to stand in your shoes and to do what you would do. For example, a power of attorney, you can give someone only the ability to do your taxes. So should something happen, and I because it's not an effect, even though you sign the document, it's only in effect when you say it's in effect. So it's kind of like you tap them in. You're like, okay, you're now in and you're now in effect. You could just have one thing on there that says, I give you authority to do my taxes every year. And they would be able to sign your name and do your taxes. I give you permission to, should I be in a hospital under these conditions, to pay these 6 bills, and you list them out. You could be very, very specific. You also could be very general and say, you can do anything that I would do. And mine actually lists out all the different types of categories that it could possibly ever be. It's like a 3 or 4 page document. And it lists out everything from banking to real estate to if you owned a business. I mean, it covers everything that you could possibly do. But I don't make anyone do anything, but I don't give the option to everyone, because if they don't have a business, we'll go ahead and take that out. We cater it to that person, and then we go in and we tweak it, so because everyone's facts and circumstances are different. You can have something that's tremendously broad, which I don't, unless it's your spouse, I normally don't recommend that, or you limit it. You limit the reach that they can have and how much they could do in your name, because that's what they're doing, is they're standing in your name and doing things for you.
Can you leave future earnings to somebody? Like after death? Like I'll give you, in case it's confusing. I have a lot of songs out there that
Royalties.
that if I'm dead, maybe it'll sell something finally.
Well, I mean, for instance, you could put royalty. You could have all your royalties even now go into a trust, and you could leave that trust to, let's say, your son Alex. And that way forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
He'll be getting 35 cents a month or something.
He will be getting his 35 cents a month. And then when he can give it, and then when he gets the trust, he's allowed to leave the trust to his kids. So let's say he has 2 kids, so they each get half of 35 cents a month, or 35 cents every other month.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Grandpa
That's a
wrote
good
this
thing.
song? That's what they're going to say. Grandpa wrote this song?
Thank you, Grandpa.
If you have a question for Vanessa, this is a good time to call 622-9622. I know I think we throw it at you every week, some kind of intellectual property question, and it's not really what you do, though, right?
It is not what I do.
But personal injury is what you do, right?
I do.
A lot?
Not a lot. No, I would say probably only about 15% of our practice is that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right now, almost 80% of my practice is family law.
Meaning divorce?
Divorce, child support, time sharing, step-parent adoptions, grandparent rights, which really don't exist in Florida, except for limited circumstances. But believe it or not, some of those circumstances do occur in Marion County. So
That will be a good thing for the grandparents, because we know some grandparents that haven't been able to see their grandchildren for literally years.
unless there's the statute actually lists out times when the grandparents can step in. Most of the time, grandparents really don't have rights in the state of Florida.
There's really there's really nothing for a step parent, is there? If I married a lady and she had a child, and then I was the stepdad, and then we got divorced, there's nothing that says I have a right to see that child anymore, right?
Correct, unless there was a step-parent adoption that had been done.
Okay.
But that only occurs if the biological parent isn't in the picture.
Or agrees to it. And there are biological parents who agree to it.
Really? They just
Absolutely.
give up their right to their child.
They do. I mean, and some of
That's
them,
not right. I mean, you're not giving it up necessarily. Maybe you're sharing it. Maybe.
in some cases, they give up the parental rights, but they have a private agreement that allows them a certain amount of visitation throughout the year. So it's not that, and those are private, agreements.
Did you hear the story
God.
Not court
about
order.
the in vitro fertilization where they had 2 eggs from 2 ladies and 1 sperm, and they mixed the 2 ladies' eggs because there was a genetic problem that
Yes.
would have happened. So by mixing them, somehow they corrected that genetic problem. So now there's literally 2 biological mothers and 1 biological father. Now there's a sitcom for you.
There is. But was it done? I'm sure it was a highly contracted case. Like, there's a lot of contracts in that case.
You think so?
Oh.
Legally?
Legally, yes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of cases, like when someone donates either the sperm or the egg, it actually is no longer, even though biologically it's theirs, they give up all rights once they do that.
Oh my
They
gosh.
agree to never to seek rights.
Well, and I'm
to
guessing
child.
that's probably the wife of the sperm guy. I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure they're the 2 real parents as far as that
Right,
kid is
right.
concerned. But isn't that interesting how they can do that? Find somebody else and say, "Hey, I need your egg."
That's very
You can get a lot of
interesting.
money for them.
Really? Mm-hmm. They're
Well, you cannot get a lot.
89 cents for a dozen.
That is about all you're getting.
Well, that's really fascinating, this world of law, and you really are a breath of fresh air for that
love you,
profession, because you really do bring up some interesting stuff.
Vanessa, what again is your number? I know I said it before.
Our number at the Jennings Law Firm is 352-804-0092.
Vanessa Lane Jennings, thank you so much.
Thank you, Larry.
Looking forward to the Christmas parade now.
It'll be a lot of fun.
This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Donald Trump's running mate defending him against accusations by 5